Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the November 23rd, 2021 Effingham BoS meeting. Before we get involved with our regular agenda, we have a public hearing per RSA 31-95B, which is acceptance of unanticipated funds in the amount of $150,691.30. This is the ARPA money that we're getting from the government. Half of it comes in this year, half of it comes in next year, but anything that's over 10 grand, we have to have a public meeting to accept the funds. So we're gonna basically make a motion to accept the unanticipated funds of $150,691.30. Is there any discussion to the public? Any reason why you don't want to take the money?
Always take the money,
No.
as long as we don't have to pay it back.
What are we using it for?
Likely, my guess is might go towards some kind of a bridge.
Okay.
You
shock me.
Majority of it probably. No decisions have been made yet, but there's been discussion that might help with it. Mr. Hart, any questions, discussion? Ready? All right, I made the motion. Anyone second? All those in favor, Fuller, aye? Thank you very much. Okay, now we'll call the order of the regular meeting, and before we start, let's do the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. All right. First order of business is the signature folder. Make a motion to accept the minutes of November 16, 2021. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, for aye?
Aye.
And we also, in the signature folder, had a solar abatement request, which is part of our town policy. And the manifest dated November 24, 21. I'll make a motion to pass the manifest November 24, 2021 in the amount of $29,433.89. Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor, for aye?
Aye.
And in the mail folder, we had the NRRA 2022 tire fee increase numbers come in, which is going to necessitate that we review one number in our transfer station ordinance, which we're going to be talking about in a public meeting next week. So the tires will go up to $4 rather than $3 to try and cover our costs. We'll not cover it all, but most of it. And the posting for that, I believe, is up as of today, right? Good. We got a letter of gratitude for the Red Cross for the appropriation from last year's town meeting to that nonprofit. And we had a letter request to the selectmen from Mina LLC requesting the selectmen to approve the company to backfill all of the gas station stuff. And I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm not in favor of overriding the ZBA.
Well, I don't have a problem with it. All they want to do is cover it over and pave it. I don't even know if they get paid anymore. But regardless how the case comes out, I mean, it's just it's money out of their pocket. They've said they're going to accept the responsibility. And the cease and desist is taken.
Cease and desist means you don't do anything more.
Yeah. Right.
So it means if we override the cease and desist, the cease and desist doesn't.
Well, I mean, it still doesn't allow them to pump gas. They still won't have a pump anywhere else. It's just they want to clean up the parking lot. You know? That's the problem.
It's hard over it.
Can I comment on?
Hold on. In public comment, yes.
We didn't issue the selectmen the cease and desist.
No, it comes from,
So I think this letter should have been the CEO.
I would agree. I'm not sure I want
Well,
to jump in on top of that. I
I
mean,
mean, just
I don't mind writing back to them, have them write or call them and just tell them, please make the request through the zoning office.
Yeah.
And go from there.
they just I could see what their plan is, just to get done what they can get done before winter sets in.
And also, I think they wanna try and maybe open the store, which they can't now because they can't get the front doors the way it's, just operate the store with no pumps. I don't know if that was on there, I know about that.
So what do you want to do?
No, I say it needs to go to the zoning, well, the zoning enforcement officer.
I think the letter needs to come back to Rebecca and then they'll bring it through the system.
Yeah.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just look at it. Basically ask you what that was to the Phil's office. Thank you. Okay, under announcements, town clerk's office will be closed Tuesday, November 21, 2021 for training. Town clerk's office will be closed Wednesday, November 2022, 2021. Town offices will be closed Thursday, November 25th, 2021. It was a holiday. New business, and we've got budget review items to go this morning.
I forgot to put our comments on there. I forgot to notice. I guess I was on.
Oh, well, yeah, let's take us
going
first.
fast.
Okay, yeah, let's start with the PA and then the selectmen. Okay,
So for follow-up of last week's meeting, I did confirm in writing, and I'll put it in the file for USDA. I asked her to acknowledge my email back. So, yeah, so we'll see. And I called Miss Dow about the street light, told her it was a private light. She may want to come to a meeting someday and talk to y'all about that. And I finally was working with someone on Clean Harbors, and we now have a new account rep, and he's going to come out and see them. He's going to schedule coming out to the transfer station to get the old barrels.
good.
Yes. A&B Lock gave me a date for final completion. This morning, they said it was going to be December 9th. That will be terrific. Tim Green sent me a letter that legal has to complete. Matt Surge said he'll get that done. So we should have the audit. I think last year he did that letter in just a few days. So
Okay.
maybe, I'm going to say maybe a week, but with the holiday, maybe a little bit longer. And all my 91As are cleared up. There's no outstanding 91A requests out there. I am on vacation next week. I'll be here tomorrow until we close at noontime.
Yep.
So employees will get their paychecks, things like that. But next week I am out. Darlene has my number. That's it.
Yeah, we'll not be calling you on vacation.
That's it.
All right. Mr. Hart,
No, I really don't have anything, just been working on it again.
so the signs, why don't we just take the order we did earlier this year? But I think we need the signs and we have enough money in the budget anyway to do it, and we're gonna need the order and do that. Cash flow available, so, yeah.
Also, the same order, but we're gonna add in
Well, I got added the
the bridge closed.
bridge closed, signage
Uh,
from that standpoint. I know no few trucks were down about 7, I think. So we at least $7. And stop signs, I know we've got a couple of them out here, but I don't know if we're listening at this point. I think the no few trucks is more full. How do you feel?
Yeah, we don't have it.
Yeah, we're out. Okay.
We're out of them completely.
Yeah, we ended up putting them up.
I know it's put 4 down at the.
Yeah, and that kind of used up our allotment.
We'll change the one in Champion Hill.
Okay.
How many stop signs do you want?
Stop signs, we've got 1 or 2 out here. I don't think until we get a better picture of where maybe this little bit down. I'm gonna not forego that, but we know right now the road through trucks. We have enough to.
Okay.
I have a map. I actually go from the transfer station. I went around and marked where the stop sign will miss. I'll bring that with me
Okay,
next week.
all right, well, that ought to be done.
Yeah.
I can drop it off.
We, Lenny and I went around, and then a couple weeks ago, we found one sign that you, that comes in as part of some order. But that's it.
All right.
All right, Lenny,
Marguerite, in the signature folder, I didn't see a deed for.
I didn't get it complete yet.
Oh, okay. It's in the works.
It
I
is.
didn't see it on the,
Yeah, hopefully next week.
okay.
If the buzzer isn't, a lot of taxpayers don't come in tomorrow, because I'll probably be taking taxes with the end close. I'll get that priority tomorrow.
Okay, no, it was just,
I think I could call her and find her address. You have a copy of her check, right? Yeah. I'm good.
I did get a hold, called Ron last week. They graded Wilkinson Swamp Road because that was a mess with the trucks. And he did, it was warm, so he did some coal patching last Thursday. He got Pine River Road and Elm Street. I don't know if he made it. Green Mountain Road, I noticed he didn't get the one at Hunter's Bridge Road.
and I know the greater one by my house, like 6:30 last night.
Yeah.
So they must be getting ready to grade on that part of town today.
Yeah, that was the other thing, the leaves are killing them. And your road is, they gotta ditch it. And Ron doesn't have a blower.
Okay.
He said he was gonna buy one. I said, well, it'd make life a lot easier for everybody if you had one and save us some money. But, I think he called Digging Bills, but Josh didn't want to sell them theirs. This is what I got.
Okay.
Kevin did Pine Grove yesterday afternoon, so that never got done, and that really needed it, so we did that.
Okay.
I haven't talked to Ron about cleaning the ditches on Champion Hill. That should be done before winter, so we don't end up with that ice problem that we normally do. Nobody seems to know anything about the patch job on Bay Road. Ron didn't do it. None of his guys did it.
For which,
For the whole, the same.
oh, this, yeah, we got looked at that the other day.
Yeah,
So it looks like it's sandbagged.
yeah, the
From
same
further
bags
washout,
and gravel.
But it's left open a little bit, so everything that comes off the road.
Well, it's washed in since, but, were you able to get a hold of?
No, that was one more than one day last night. I was gonna do that yesterday, but I had a family issue that came up, so. I'm trying to reach out to this.
Because I saw him when he was headed over there, but, I was on my way to Ospey, so I went to Ospey and dashed back down there. He was either gone or
Yeah, when
hadn't gotten there.
I went down there the other day and snapped a couple of pics, just to make sure we had some documentation. And you can see where the sand barrier bags have been put in there.
Yeah.
And you can see where the water was running right off the road, and it was running down into a small hole this big,
Yeah.
so it wasn't washing everything out. It was just-
Well, it will continue to,
Well, you
the
need
road underneath, so.
to buy time till next year.
And, we gonna do any shouldering? I see Ron left his shouldering machine at the transfer station.
He said he was going.
Yeah, because you could really use it on townhouse road places, not the whole road, but there's a lot of places when you drive along, you look where the crack seal is on the edges, that's where you doesn't lose the road. So,
Other than what was paid this year, there wasn't any discussion with him at all. And that I'm aware of. To do any additional shoulder.
we had a little bit of money, that maybe it's not too late. Or he takes it home.
I'm not good. John, I know the ones, at least a couple of them down.
Yeah.
Talking about.
Uh,
Yeah, can you reach out to him?
You want me to reach out, or you want to reach out, Tom? I don't mind, Tom.
If you want, that's fine.
I can't even leave Kevin Cody voicemail because his mailbox is full, so he's probably hunting again. So nothing new at the transfer station, we told on that one.
You know, we think it's gonna do it.
I don't know. At this point, I don't know. I mean, we haven't signed a contract with him. But it's gonna take almost 3 years to go that whole building. Crazy.
It's, yeah, I agree. It's totally. No, I'm good looking to have somebody else do it. Finish it off.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know where the door ordering stands. That was, you know, if we could just get the door.
If somebody else do it.
Do we know if he's been paid?
I know he had some payment last year, but I don't think he got paid the whole thing, because it was a couple of it, but I don't know the answer to that.
I would have to check.
Can you pull that contract and then we pay him?
Mhm.
See,
Yeah,
if we pay him, then we'll hold the account.
if I memory serves me, I think he's been paid maybe 2/3 of it or 3/4 of it,
Okay.
I think.
It could be
I don't remember,
based on the concrete and some of that stuff.
because I think he required half up front.
Yeah.
And I think there's another check for the material.
So see what the difference is, Darlene, if you could. Okay. And then I had actually asked Cobalt Construction Management, Chris,
Yeah,
to take a look at
Yeah.
it, but then when you said we're getting the whole together, I told him to hold off.
Yeah.
I'll ask Chris to come down and give us a price tag, and we'll like need to finish off. And then we can look at. And then
okay,
what we can do.
yeah, because it'd be kind of nice to get that side, and get the gutter up, so we try and keep the water out of it. Because that tank should be here pretty quick. I don't know if Audrey knows, maybe more when that's the way, not the other way, or the other barrels. but Yeah, we can start.
We can ask her that.
I was talking about the streetlight, we ought to, that one in front of the fire station two.
They're still on?
Yeah, we ought to just shut that, I mean,
I think that's on the third work order.
the third one.
Yeah, they broke out one work order, and the 3 of them. Is that correct, Audrey?
I don't know what
For
you're talking about.
streetlights? Streetlights?
Yeah,
And they sent saying they're all done, but they're all done with the one work order. They're going on to the second work order.
well, I knew they had completed School Street and then they were gonna come back. Are you saying they weren't complete?
No, there's one still on in front of the firehouse.
Okay.
The one on fire station itself, I mean, that's on the generator, so there's no power that's on it, so,
What's that address?
I don't know, I can give you a phone number.
All right.
And we ought to think about trying to get the granite from Mike's to the transfer station, so that gets gathered.
When you talk to Ron.
Yeah.
He was supposed to have moved that,
Ron was moving it. Oh, okay.
but he's obviously need a reminder. It was supposed to be that one ago.
I know we used a couple pieces on
Yeah,
Funhouse Road.
yeah,
And the rest of
at
it's
least,
still there.
I think there were 3 or 4 pieces based on. what I looked at.
Yeah. Okay, so you want me to have Ron do that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just reminded it was on the list from this, so.
okay. Or it could be, gets forgotten. So. Okay, that's all I got for like right now.
Okay.
I have one quick question, I apologize. Family Road, who are you gonna call about that, Hanson?
I'm gonna call it as
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Hanson construction.
You see that yesterday, HEB said, for Dick said,
Yeah, they were supposed to do borings today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Somebody screwed up a schedule somewhere. Eric, is gonna come down and sign everything, ready to go for dig safe. But now they're getting dig safe and then we mark it.
Yeah.
And then they'll do the borings for that.
yeah, because I see they had a comment that did say that. So,
Right. And it was only done in the last day or so, so it's maybe a bunch before you start.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Audrey, did you you end up reaching out to the Google receiver company?
I have not.
So did you sent me the guy's name originally, right?
Yes, Skip Lyle.
Okay, I will reach out to him today. We're gonna come up with a solution for that dam below,
Right, okay.
Snow Road Bridge. Mike's taking 2 more meter out of there, and the building will back up as fast as he can rip it apart. So we need to come up with a long-term solution, otherwise I'm gonna go broke with that one man. So hopefully this kind of some ideas for us.
So there's another one further downstream from that one.
There is, so the
Because if
one,
you go by the Larry Levitt Preserve, look at the brook, this water's pretty high right there.
yeah, he said there's one, the first one that we've been dealing with is about 6 feet tall. And he's been ripping it apart, and I've been getting pictures every time he catches a beaver. And they keep putting it back in, and then there's a much larger one further down, a couple 100 yards down. And he said there's a couple brand new beaver huts and everything else there that has sprung up in the last month. So the population has been. Okay, and I received a couple of emails, from, Brian Dugan with the municipal resource folks on the fire had. I believe at this point, we've got at least 3 apps in there, maybe more. So we do have at least some interested parties in that particular position.
And Mr. Hatch said he distributed it.
And yeah. Okay. That's all I have for this week.
When does that close?
It's in December.
I want to say the 15th.
It's 15th of December.
So, all right, next item up, the new business part, budget review. Let's deal with payroll expenses first. And one question I have, Audrey, do we know if the 2022 proposed budget for retirement includes Tyler's proposed pay scale as of April 1, or is it just on his existing
Is,
pay scale?
Yeah,
The new, good, that's what I want to I'm assuming it's like that's basically.
like the son of
On a new.
all the budgets, all the new budgets.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the significant increase there is the daytime fire.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think it was, we undershot that by mistake last year anyway, so I need to look forward to it back. Any questions? Okay, make a motion to pass, line item 4155 payroll expenses 2022 budget in the amount of $92,000. Second,
Second.
all those in favor, for aye? Okay. And the next one is assessing.
We did, however, with the bill that came in last week, we realized we were low on software. We didn't have the kiosk in there,
Ah, okay,
and that was another $1,800.
okay. So then, so basically the change is made, moving up from 36.4 to 38.4.
Correct.
All right, I thought that's what it was, when I saw this. Questions, gentlemen? Okay. I'll make a motion to revise the previous approved, selectmen approved budget for line item 4152 assessing for the 2022 budget in the amount of $38,400. All those in favor, for aye? Thank you very much. Dave, those are the two that we have for this morning. We're doing some calculation numbers on the remaining 4 or 5. right, don't forget that one. All right, let's do public comment. All right, Mr. Garcia. Right.
Concerning the MENA project, I just wanted you guys to be aware that their application is gone now. They haven't applied, reapplied, whatever. So this December 2nd, I think, is our meeting next. I don't think they're gonna be there, and so people should know about it.
Were they supposed to submit revised?
They were supposed to submit, and I'm not sure it's even come in at this point, but you know, there was someone on the abutter list that was not on there that was supposed to be.
Wasn't notified properly.
Correct,
So
so-
re-notification, reapplication.
Right, so, and the application, well, the last application, there were some engineering flaws, I think, on that, and we were, I think, getting ready to ask for a stormwater plan and a couple other things, and probably go out and do a site visit, because what we were seeing on the plan didn't look quite like what was at the site. So I would hesitate before I
Yeah.
allowed them to cover things up. I mean, it looks to me like there may be some regrading that's gonna have to happen there. You wouldn't want them to throw the asphalt down and have to dig it all up. Wouldn't help them.
It's an expense. To get changed there. But yeah, one of the, about it was a piece of property that changed hands
Right.
between the original application.
Okay.
That if I did get noticed. They noticed the old.
Yeah, so basically we have to start all over.
Okay. All right. Anything else? Good. Anything else? Public comments? Anybody else?
So I might congratulate you guys on the 150,000.
I would like to say it was all our doing, but we had nothing to do with it. The formula basically, Effingham is what it is, and the formula was applied for the money, and we did our 150.
So good.
Mr. Jones,
You're gonna hate me,
that's all right.
but the ad they ran in the paper today was the one from last week. They did not run a proper notice for next week's public hearing on the transfer station fees. So you don't have your 7 days notice again. They ran the one from the 16th. And if what's posted outside was the notice that you were gonna run, it's still not sufficient. It has to include what the dollar amounts are. You have to publish a schedule of fees. In the
And I
newspaper.
have in 2 places, but not in the paper. I
Correct.
posted it here and on the
Right.
website.
But it also has to run in the paper.
Not the entire fee
According to the
schedule.
law, yes.
It's 2 places.
And a newspaper of general circulation in the town. And then it says the notice, it does not differentiate, it says the notice shall include the proposed schedule of fees. It has to run in the paper as well.
We only did the notice the first time.
Yeah. And it was illegal then too.
I've never seen that before. I will check
That would
with
be like
NHMA.
8 pages of the
Yeah.
notice. and-
Yes.
Right, you don't have to
Unless
publish,
you do just the stuff.
you just have to do the dollar amounts. But you can't just do the one you're changing. You have to do all monetary fees.
Okay.
It is, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron, for the
Yeah.
feedback.
It's part 4 of the law. Is the one that delineates it.
Keep us in line. Thank you. Anything else in public comment? All right. We do have Mike scheduled this morning for 10. Do we know if he's coming?
I didn't remind him.
Okay.
So I don't know.
And we're early enough right now, so we actually do have a non-public request this morning. So we will be going into a non-public. Under RSA 91-A:3 subsection 2. Subsection 2.
See,
All those in favor?
Let's see.
And so, okay, folks, we're going into non-public. Thank you.
For people who aren't coming back, you want to tell them next meetings or anything?
Yeah, next meeting, budget committee is tonight at 6 P.M. Next board of selectmen meeting is November 30th. That budget committee meeting is Tuesday, November 30th. Thank you.
last time you said something, it's home by 8. Kind of really like. Just remember, if you're out by 9, you get cookies.
Let me see if I can text.
You haven't heard any delivery date or anything? Well,
No, let me write to them.
said it was gonna ship. Second. Probably sitting on the link package.
I think it's US made.
Taking off.
No, what do you want?
Doing highways and streets when they're ready.
You got it right?
In the ETFs, right?
You have that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
let's do it.
I'm not ready to go in a work session, you're in public meeting, what you doing,
We went back into public,
right? So,
9:40.
okay.
So we should be able to turn around.
Yep.
Good.
So we're gonna do these in the public, or are we gonna do the work session? Because we need to close the public meeting.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna close public meeting, do work session. You're just gonna pull these into public.
Let's pull them out.
Darlene, did you keep a copy?
I did not.
Sorry, I didn't make up the copies. Okay, so the first 2 pages I gave you was the highway and streets form. And then down below in there, there's the budget to actual of what was spent on highways to date. And I didn't feel knowledgeable enough to do this, so I thought if we went through it line by line, we could fill it in.
Not really, that's not on the budget for calcium.
We only did 2 shots, two buckets. In the past, we've done 3. So if we go back, then we would do 3. And we're putting it down slightly thicker, which we've done for the last 2 years. So that 26 number or next year's recommendation, you're right on target.
Right, because they didn't do a transfer station this year. That was part of the savings in that.
Yeah.
Last one, because the weather and everything else getting out there.
And let's see.
What we done? We done with the crack seal on that?
No, oh, calcium.
Oh, sorry. I know that crack seal.
No, I know the crack seal you gave in Oh, yeah, yeah, he usually does. What about that? I mean, calcium, I think. We put out 2 applications, this seems like a,
You think
So we usually do 3. So we didn't do 3 this year, we did 2.
we did the whole town in two trips.
All right, so the question I have is, based on when we put it down, and because of the rain and the grading we had to do, we basically ruined it on the roads by the August time frame, because they had to be graded again. If we had the 3rd bucket on there, we'd at least be able to drop some calcium down in a couple of the worst areas for dust. But I'm good, you know.
No, I mean, I'm good, we're under budget.
Oh, yeah.
I just couldn't figure out why he did so much under budget.
And David,
We normally used to do 2. We only do 1 application now, heavy. So that's what the difference you're seeing is, because we were always doing 2. We do 1 application now, heavy. We're doing 2 light, so it costs us more to go out twice with the trucks,
transportation and
everything to put down, right? So I was sort of expecting this to go down, because if we still stay with the 1 heavy, like what we have for the last 2 times.
so would you be comfortable moving 26 down to 20?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine, that gives you an extra in case you have to grade to put down. I don't know what the cost fee would be to come out with 1 truck, just to spot calcium. I mean, we never tried
It's
that.
still gonna be a heavy number, that's why I was thinking the 26 is more in line, but I'm open to either 20 or 26 or something in between.
Lenny's right, we're only doing 1 heavy. We went away from the 2 times a year.
Right. And the 1 heavy, and then having it, the rain hit it, but it did with the water.
So I assume that 15,000 was the 1 heavy, right, Lenny?
Yeah, I'd say,
Yeah, that's what I would say, because we didn't add anything from that afterwards that I was aware of.
Okay. So you could move it down to 20?
yeah, it gives us little room in case the price goes up, which I'm sure it will.
Do you know if any bills are outstanding on that, Audrey?
no, there aren't any.
Okay. The materials,
Yeah, you're currently at 76% of the budget.
and just so you're aware, some of the materials being used this year were purchased in the previous cycle.
Yep.
So the 50 number or.
That's a pretty
55
good
number
number for what we
probably
have.
More accurate.
Previous years, that's usually a pretty good number for the town.
Yeah,
50?
that would be where salt goes, and you don't have your December salt either. More materials.
Salt on the road. material.
Oh, okay. I see.
So 50, leave the number. It's gonna be there for the 2021. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Road contractor. If we want to get more grading and we want to do some more. Some of the culverts replacements, they're that need to be replaced. We're gonna have floor and green mountain, we're gonna have to deal with for that project.
I think 95.
Yeah, many times too.
Right. Roadside mowing and clearing.
Yeah.
I would say mowing, clearing and leaves. And put this whole thing in that 1 bucket. We used 12 this year. Out of 24. I think 25 will be good for next year too. So we'll see.
Yeah, we're getting fine from them.
Well, I think it's worth having a discussion with Ron about buying a unit. What do you think of the town buying a unit? And then whatever road contract we have as well.
It would be quite an expense
Maybe 4 or 5 grand.
for a mower.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
No, I
mower.
was actually, yeah, I was thinking, yeah, not the mower, the blower, the blower. Yeah. But, you know, I think it's worth having that discussion, so. All right, at this point,
Well, in his contract, he listed at 65 an hour, but. I mean, I'm sure he could rent one, but. It'd be a,
I think if we commit to a plan that says, if we want to do on these roads next year, as part of this thing, rather than piecemeal, we want to do so many gradings, you know, water down with calcium, you know, whatever it may be, you know.
but I mean, it would save so much. It would save a lot of money for the town by blowing the ditches.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Because I mean, if you don't, then you gotta pull it all out.
Right.
Scoop it up, haul it out, and then all the material will replace what you hauled out.
Which is gonna cost more in one season than a whole blower. So what is needed to? Is a tractor needed to
Yeah.
use that?
You probably have to have a good sized tractor too. Yours and mine will be power.
No. All right, let's have a discussion with Ron on that. I think that's worth looking at, see if we can come up with a solution. Will work for
I
us.
know he has a tractor for his personal use. I don't know how big it is.
We'll ask, we'll find out.
Is he doing, Charlie? Ron? Next, any of our meetings?
Nothing I'm aware of, though.
Want to call him in?
You could, but I'm not sure the game like that, but it's more of a one-on-one discussion,
And,
and then bring it back to the table. If you want to invite him, we can invite him in, I'm just not sure we'll be back on it. From time to time.
all right.
All right. Signs and equipment. 15. It's got 11. We order some more signs. And we'll, yeah, 15 is probably for next year. Winter road contract. That's the contract itself.
That's level funded, right?
Yeah, 1 more year, I think.
And then the winter materials. 87. Yeah, I think at this point, I think the 7 is probably safe number. Anybody disagree?
No.
Okay. Tree removal. We want to keep this underneath the roadside mowing and clearing, or we want to keep it as separate? It doesn't look like it's supposed to lay under much of casual.
I think we've been putting it under the roadside clearing.
Yeah, I'm good with you to get in there if you want.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, you good with that?
Yep.
All right, crack ceiling, 17.5.
I believe you're gonna have to do the
Yeah,
transfer and all that shit.
yeah, I think we keep that available. And the regular road reconstruction at 250. Okay. We have all the numbers, you should be able to just subtract.
738, 70.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll put that, okay. So, got it. $738, $750. 750. Okay, make a motion to approve line item 4312 highways and streets for the 2022 budget, $738. $738,000.
That other number was nice.
$738,750. I hear a second.
Okay.
All those in favor, vote aye.
Right.
Thank you. I'm tired here. Yeah. Well, I think the most significant thing. So, looking back at some of the previous town reports, we used to have part-time roles. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, whatever. You know why that was ever instituted?
No.
Okay. We'll just, we're thinking the size of money we're talking here in our annual budget for the year. Or we try somebody who's expertise in on part-time.
And it used to be an elected position. But I don't know why it ever got.
Not for this year, it's not, I think at some point, it should take a look at all that.
Yeah. We handed that back a couple of years ago.
I remember that,
Yeah.
and Chris stood up and made a pitch and Samara was shot down. But the issue is most people don't understand what it actually takes. This whole, I mean, when we start talking $700,000, should have somebody a little bit of expertise of how to manage that. So, I think it's money well spent, but not this year.
Well, put it on the line, I look for following. See if the towns we want to, you know, I think we got that.
What do you thought?
So you can get a road agent, you can get a paid road agent.
Well,
You know, be a part-time road agent. full-time
no,
road
I
agent.
think it's gotta be part-time, like 20 hours a week or something, but it's one of those things like, I think we waste more than it would cost. Just with the fact that we having all the research and all the other stuff that needs to be done, and we're missing stuff, if we don't have any expertise for it. Somebody that's been in the business, it might be a $70 job or something like that. I think would be, would benefit the town.
There's more control, like
And
now,
yes.
it's some equipment might be over here,
And the
some over there. and stuff.
It's more efficient.
But then you need equipment.
No,
No, this is road agent.
Road agent basically manages the road contract, road contractor. So it's like, we have to worry about this week, who this week's
They
calling,
would have their,
Ron,
they would
this,
have their
that,
own
and the other
equipment.
thing, it's like one central point.
So we just drive around the truck, checking the roads, checking.
Oh,
make sure
that,
the
okay,
contractor
okay,
is
so actually not doing the work.
They were supposed to be. Going and whatever.
Do you want to take a look at that as a warrant article, or you want to just like go from the time being and discuss it every time?
Yeah, you should have a little more feel of what it's gonna cost.
Yeah. I think we need to get a discussion, between us to discuss it. Go further.
you want me to see what other towns are paying? That's a
Yeah,
position.
check around and see what might be there for the smaller towns around us.
Brookfield and Madison are a good one to check, because Brookfield does that right now.
Okay.
Having Chris come in and try to have a discussion with them of value or not.
How do you feel about that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
Do a little homework and then we
Okay.
can. And then if we find one or two towns that kind of fit a similar profile, we can deep dive in those areas and find out what they do and how they do it. How they structure it. All that. Okay. All right, so that was the additional one. We have no order now.
No, we have the ETFs and CRFs, and so I gave you this list of what you did last year. It's gonna be your phone check. And so the gray column, the 2021, that is all money that came out of the unassigned fund balance. And the next that we put into ETFs. The next column was money that was actively used from the unassigned fund balance. For example, the operating budget, 13,000 came from unassigned fund balance. I did that just so I could tie to what was reported to the Department of Revenue. But I think we're focusing on the first column. So last year, you put planning and land use ETF, you put in $1,000. And they currently have a balance of 5,447. I don't know the purpose of the various ETFs. Is this for conservation? You know what this is for, this ETF? Is this for conservation?
For the CIP,
No, the
Or-
planning and land use ETF.
yeah, that's the CIP. That's the capital
Okay,
improvement
yeah.
meeting.
Yep.
Actually, if you want to take copies of these, it's probably gonna show you better than what you have there, but
Okay, one of those would be good too.
If you
it
pick
covers both that,
Thank you.
TPF and CRS.
So general discussion, so what we did last year, we were finding a position monetarily from a cash flow standpoint. Where we basically fund these ETFs through warrant articles by doing an unassigned fund balance transfer, therefore they raise taxes to do this. In the past, they just let it go to the unassigned fund balance and then they went to the town and made requests to get new taxation every single year. So it makes sense to basically fund this with money we currently have. As I'm looking at this. Article 20 is not something we need to do this year. So.
Yeah, that was a transfer, right?
Yeah, Article 20 was actually money that had been set aside for the renovation of the town hall. We had been sitting in the state for a number of years, and we discovered it during the accounting reviews. So we had money to pay, but because that in the general fund had assigned to the project, so that's why Article 20 was the last year. It will not exist this year. Dave, you know from discussions, how old is the generator at this school?
That actually will be, I think Randy gave that at the budget meeting. I think he said it was 30 years old.
Yeah. So.
Or approaching 30, I think is what Randy said. But that's just an old foggy memory.
Yeah. So where we don't need the Article 20, would anybody have an objection to taking $7,000 of that and putting it on the Article 12? And the reason I say that is I do know from a discussion in the capital improvements program a little over a year ago, Randy said if we have to replace that generator up at the school, it'll be over 25,000.
Yeah, but I think by the CIP, we ended up with the 25 because that would be enough in there to replace what we needed to, the oldest one at that time frame.
Yeah, but from a risk standpoint, it's like.
No, I'm just saying why that amount was spent.
Worst case scenario is like if one of them, if the town goes to school for some reason. That's our emergency management generator as well as the school generator. And I think last year was the first year we put money into this one. Or 2 years old, how much in there?
2, right?
2,500 or 500.
But it's all based on what the capital improvement plan projected was needed and the age of the equipment, so.
Isn't that the newest generator? The one at the school? The school's not 30 years old.
There's one he said that was 30, and I don't remember if it was the school one or the, the one here.
So it's gonna be 20 years.
Remember what he said at the budget meeting? I can't remember exactly what he said. He gave us the age of.
You know how old the school is? We're all looking at you.
I don't know,
Vicky.
maybe it is 30 years.
You know, I thought he was talking about the
Yes,
school.
no, I think he was too. And then,
Maybe it is 30 years.
Did
No,
he
time
move it?
flies.
Did we move it?
no, that was apparently a brand new purchase, but.
I don't know. I thought he said the school, but that's just off my memory. That's all.
Yeah, could be 30 years, you could be right.
But that capital improvement was based on, so there isn't a need to put more into it because it's based on the age and the maintenance that we're doing on it.
Is this the
With his
one
budget.
called in the emergency management
Yep.
disaster that currently has a balance of 37,608?
Oh, no, that's Randy's emergency.
Oh.
Yeah. That's Randy's emergency
This
budget.
is just the, I'm good. Nobody wants to do it. That's okay.
But I agree with you, Chuck. We don't need we don't need that 7802 warrant article again.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, that can definitely go away. As far as Audrey's point on the capital improvement, do you remember what the amount was that they had stated they wanted to have in there? Because I thought 5,000 was a pretty good number.
Yeah, but 5,000 was a good number when we were looking at out here, fire station, because we knew those would be in the 5.8 range. But I remember Randy basically saying it was gonna be 25.
No, I meant for their planning, land use,
Oh.
CIP. That's just to hold the meetings and all that stuff and everything they need to do. Hire the experts. You were on it, so I didn't know if you
No,
remember.
memory's not working on it.
Okay.
5,000 won't get you much in professional services.
It's only 1,000, so it isn't a big deal.
All right. Anything else? Yeah, yeah. So first off, are we good with the numbers after we subtract out Article 20? And secondary to that, do we use the money from the outside fund balance like we did in the previous year?
Take out the 7802, what's that, moving, 70,
Brings the unassigned fund balance required down to 36.
Yeah, I think you do that shit, I guess the 70.
We're in a position to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Chuck that we mentioned at the budget meeting that we're expecting conservatively, we should have about 10% left over of the budget, which is about 200 grand, but you gotta remember 150 of that is earmarked for Green Mountain Road. So you've got about 50, so 40 is a comfortable number that we can use on excess budget, should be, providing we don't spend a whole bunch in this last month, unexpected. So we're gonna be reviewing again, just to remind you in January of everything that we spent on the unreserved fund balance to make sure that we can do it. Jointly, we'll be doing that together in January.
So everything in gray adds up to 36,000 minus the 78 to take it out. Good with that?
yeah.
Good with that?
Yeah.
All right.
So if you look at those budget sheets that are in front of you,
Yeah, go down through each of those.
so you can tie a thing to them if you want. You can probably just erase on what you said, approve one, each one.
So,
Make sure I haven't missed one on there. I did.
for the bridge maintenance at $2,000. That currently has a balance of 10,329, so that'll make that.
Which one's that one?
The bridge maintenance, I'm starting at the top of yours, 4916, expendable trust fund.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And then you had municipal buildings. That's an ETF, not from the unassigned fund balance of 10,000. And,
Yeah, that wasn't on the ETF.
correct,
And that's pretty much what we would be doing, the same thing that we did last year to get that 40,000 number on the municipal
Right.
buildings, just like what we show on these two sheets, just so you're not confused on that.
well, the municipal buildings, the balance right now is 45,000, so this would bring it up to 55,000.
Mhm.
Someone said the roof of this building would be quite expensive alone,
Very expensive.
yeah.
Well, we use that also for the library too, so it isn't just a store. Fire department.
That library is spoiled. Municipal electric equipment. I don't know what that is for.
That's to buy your electronic equipment.
That's printers,
Oh, that's
that's
okay.
predominantly, last year's discussion, we're putting money away to replace that expensive printer with
Yeah.
ours.
So is that computer and network on the ETFs?
Not networks, it's for equipment.
I'm
No,
just
so-
trying to match it to the current ETF.
Oh,
Yeah, 'cause they don't have one called.
yes, computers and networking. You're
Yeah.
talking the title of that? Yes,
Right.
Yeah.
yes.
That's what I had trouble doing when I was paying these guys off.
Right.
All right,
Yeah, which line is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's currently 34.95. This will bring it up to 5,495.
Yep.
Police safety gear at 2,000
That's a local fund, should be there.
every year. I just thought it would be interesting to know what you have in there.
Mhm.
What would they have called that? Police safety and protection. Currently. Yeah, that currently has 9,363.
Yeah, now some of these, Audrey,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't sat down with Darlene, but typically we do that in December. Any budget item that's over, it's ETF.
We do a request
You-
for it, right?
Well,
Yeah,
we-
we're not
well, we
ready to do
requested
that for a
funds.
couple weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
I have that on my list.
Okay, so you realize out of some of these balances, we could,
Right, right.
just so they know and
Yeah.
everybody knows that. We'll end up reconciling any overage by removing trust funds if needed. Doesn't mean we have to.
And we have the historic town hall, not from the unassigned fund balance of $10,000. I think that's the one just called town hall, correct? And there's,
Yes.
so that currently has a balance of 38,000.
Yep.
Most of which is already committed.
Which is
Yeah.
committed.
Okay. And the library, 1,500.
Do you know if the library needs an injection this year? Because we gave it to them last year when they didn't even ask for it. What do they have for a balance? of it? It was a question I had on my notes,
Yeah, no,
because I know Grace didn't ask for it last year, but we said we had the extra money, we wanted to put it in in case something came up.
yeah, that's great.
Library. Library equipment purchase
Mhm.
has 5,403 in it.
Okay, so the historical number that,
Five.
had been between 5 and 7,500.
You know,
It's
they're trying to
7,500,
keep
but it was moved down to
percentage of
5.
their, percentage of their, overall.
All right,
So that's
want to
holding.
take that one out, then? The library equipment?
And then if Grace has an underlying reason, or something she knows, we can put it back in when we review everything.
Yeah.
So that one's coming out.
I'm good with that. Paul? Mike?
Yeah.
Okay,
Fire department equipment, $2,000.
that's pretty much a whole fund.
And that's at 9,291 right now. CIP, you just did $1,000. aquatic, 2,500. Is that the one that is going up? From,
Yeah, I think it is actually.
going up to 3,000?
No,
No.
that's different.
That's the lake host.
That's a lake host,
Okay.
that's lake host.
So is this the one
This-
that
this is-
Emmeline just put in a bill for?
This is the.
Do you
one
remember
that-
the amount?
Because we're.
It was under 2,000.
This is
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
hopefully
And this would be one transfer if we needed to.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we keep that flat.
Keep that funded the same, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Voting machine, 2,500.
And that's another CIP.
Yeah, I think we have the target on that of like. 10 or-
Next year, I think is next year, we'll have enough fund if the state approves the machines to buy them.
Right, the balance in that account is 5,500. So,
Yeah, we'll be a little short.
yeah,
Another
Bring it
$5
up to
grand on
8.
top of that.
Yeah.
25 this year, and 25 next year.
and then the emergency management generator replacement, 2,500.
There's some ages on
I think the CIP looked at the makes, the models and the year, so I think in the CIP report. let's-
36,500.
Well, they decreased the library.
Yep.
David, I don't see the impact on your notes, but we moved 18 on the unassigned fund balance that,
You did what, Chuck?
on that sheet we just went down through.
Yeah.
And look at the totals at the bottom.
Mhm.
The tax impact of 20, we moved 18 over, cover it. Right? From the other side.
Well, we have to take the unassigned down to 36,500 for the total,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
And then the total tax impact would be just historic town hall and municipal buildings for 20, right?
20.
So your total should be 36,500
That's
with
what
a
I have.
tax impact of 20.
Okay,
Do we all agree on that?
I'm good.
Track my numbers, I'm getting over.
All right.
That's what I calculated.
Let's take this one right here, line item 4916, expendable trust funds. Make a motion for the 2022 budget. In the amount of $36,500. To be moved over from unassigned fund balance and a tax impact of $20,000 for a total of $56,500. Here's a second. All those in favor, for all right? Great. And then capital reserve funds, we have Parsons Field Mutual Aid, that's basically we appropriate $1,000, we get $1,000 check, that's an offset.
We got 2,000 this year.
Yeah, we actually,
Did you know?
No, well, that's what he asked for, and they paid us 2,000
Oh.
change.
Okay,
Oh.
Yeah.
That was generous,
yeah, okay,
so that'll change it too.
yeah, change it too. And then fire truck and equipment 20, police cruiser 15, and transfer recycling 2. And the reason for the transfer recycling is, while we have a reserve fund that was put in place to accumulate the fees that are paid to the transfer station, that particular fund can only be expended at a town meeting. And if the compactors crap the bed sometime during the year, the money would come out of this particular ETF, you know, to replace the compactors. So that's why the 2,000 was put in pretty much level.
the transfer station, I really wish these were alphabetical or something.
Not alone. They do it by the date it was established.
There's currently basically 23,000 in there, 22,939.
Good guess, Chuck.
That's pretty much what a compactor will cost. Anything else from discussion standpoint?
And so your total still should be the same because you don't add in the parcel field, because they're giving us funds.
Got it. Okay. And the. Everybody vote? More questions?
No.
Okay, line item 4915 capital reserve funds. Make a motion for the 2022 budget request in the amount of $37,000 to be. $37,000 in total, tax impact will be $20,000. All those in favor? Second, thank you. All those in favor, vote aye.
Right.
Thank you. Alright. David, what's that leave us? How many? Three?
Leaves you 4196 insurance, 4901 other warrants.
Thank you.
And that should be it.
The insurance one, we've never finalized till January. Right?
Yeah, that could be sometime in December,
Okay.
that's fine. And the other warrants will probably be dragging as we go right into January.
Yeah.
But we'd have to have them done sometime in January. Because, I mean, obviously you have to post, publish, and we have to vote on amounts. So whatever you decide to put in, well, as far as like the fire chief, I know that's gonna be one. I'm not sure what other ones you're thinking of right now, but it's probably gonna be one for Green Mountain, right? Because
Green Mountain.
we're gonna need a bid, even though it's in the budget of 250. I don't know if you're gonna just leave that, but you'll have to have a bid. You don't have to have a warrant article if it's in your operating budget of 250. But you'll have to have a bid. So I don't think you're gonna put a warrant article for that, but if you decide to extend it, you probably will have to,
We'd have to,
you know, and
Bailey
Bailey
Road,
Road Bridge will be in there because we'll have to do that. So I know those.
Power Post, Bailey Road, whatever.
I know those will have to be in the warrant articles, and any petition warrant articles that we receive will have to be in 4901. We'll throw that in there if anybody gives us any.
So, Andre, do you have the Word doc from last year with the? Yeah. So basically, we just did this morning, we can actually look at the those already. And from a position standpoint, we previously in the same position of the previous year.
Good look at it, this is left over from last year. I think we pretty much. I don't think that we have any other 4901s, I mean, any other warrant articles that are gonna come up. Do you know of any others that you're talking?
Well, the only one, we had that new charitable organization that basically told them they had to do a warrant.
Be a petition warrant article?
I don't know if they're gonna do it or not.
that you
I had
said-
sent a notice to them, and
Yep, I know that,
but I know the
if it's
office
back,
did too, yeah.
But that would be one.
I know last year we had the DFib, the part-time personnel, road construction, Bailey. Avatar contract, we don't need this year, town hall repair and furbish. We will have one for that.
Why don't
Right.
you need Avatar this year
We don't need the warrant article because it's in the operating budget.
at 30,000?
Yeah, that's in the operating budget. So we only needed it
Okay,
because
right,
it was
right,
the
right.
first of the
Got it.
5 year.
Yep, got it.
So you will need the town hall beetle post warrant article. And we had the senior tax relief, that was a petition. We don't
We don't
obviously
need
have
to
that
do
this year.
that, so.
That's what we had from last year. So the beetle post is one I forgot to add in.
How about the road reconstruction and paving projects?
That wouldn't have to be unless they modify what's in the operating budget of 250 that you just approved, because that's a normal Green Mountain 1.1 to 1.3 miles we do each year.
So
So,
the 150 for the unassigned fund that we knew we created last year to carry over for this year, because the next stretch on Green Mountain is gonna require some major road work. Build up and removal of stuff. So that project, rather than being 250, is gonna be
Yeah, if it goes more, because this 250 that you approved is out of taxes.
Yep.
And that's been in taxes for
It's
4 or
level.
5 years, whatever.
Basically level funded. the way
Yeah.
we do it.
Level funded, and so Bailey Road more than likely is gonna come out of the other funds. And
You know, a lot of the decisions on what we have to do, will be made right after the close books at year end, when we actually know what the true numbers are in our pocket.
yeah, which typically, I don't know what Audrey's date is, but typically it's first or second week of January. Is that still in that ballpark, Audrey? Close the books?
I believe it has to be by the 15th. I don't know if it's like a second Friday or
It's always kept my open till like February.
Yeah, so right in that ballpark,
Yeah,
first or second week of January.
and then once we unfund them, then we next week.
We'll have the final budget, the actual, what we actually got for money, then when the budget committee looks at it, we know how much actually had excess. Can we fund you them like you planned on with you guys? We'll look over these again. And then any other warrant articles that we funded with unreserved fund balance, unassigned fund balance.
So we'll get into a good discussion on how we're gonna deal with Bailey. That, and a good discussion on Greenlight.
Yeah, exactly. Or other warrant article fundings.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. We got some options.
Besides Avatar, what else do we need to encumber that we know of so far?
I'll go through it with you. I have a lot of
You have
them,
some?
yeah.
You know, we
I'll look at
But we'll have to encumber some of the,
typically, legal
Green
bills
Mountain
never hit us
will be-
by 12/31. So we always have had to try to get
in
an
the
idea
30,000.
of what the number would be. So when the bill comes in the first of January, we're bad. We missed that 2 years ago, so we ended up having to come out of the existing legal line.
I've always done checks for almost a month out of both budgets. Just keep it open. I don't know if you can do that in QuickBooks, maybe you can't do
No.
that,
I don't know.
you probably can't, I bet you can't, that's
yeah, I
why,
bet you can't.
bet you can't, that's probably why
You gotta close, yeah.
Cause I would just keep, I would keep 2 sets of books.
Yeah.
For almost to February.
Yeah.
We'll have to send notices out like we did last year in December, and I think I gave you the list that I had.
Yep, I know,
Then-
the vendors.
Just
Yeah.
try to get everybody in before the close of books.
Yeah.
And we know there's gonna be a credit card payment, there's gonna be something that goes over into the next year budget, eats some of your budget, we know that, that happens.
Keep the purchase on the credit card small.
Right.
So they've got a list from me of stuff that historically we have issues with close at the end of the year. And they've got their own list too, so just add it to it.
Yeah, and that actually helped us last year when we had control on that list. The previous years, we didn't have that, so we got whacked with some stuff. but worked out on it pretty well.
Yeah.
All right, good. Anything else? Okay. All right,
Your session was there.
all those in favor for Ryan?
Aye.
Sign on that? Yeah.